high draft picks and kind of relate to what they're feeling and maybe some of the pressure that they are feeling as well?
Oh yeah, I can definitely relate to that. But it's good to be on the other end. It's good to have played here, obviously, and now to see how it is to coach here. For me, it's really a dream come true. My first early opportunities to coach, I couldn't take advantage of them because I wanted my kids to get a little older, and so they're a little older now, and works out good for my family and myself to be involved with coaching. And far as those first round picks and second round picks, feeling that pressure, it's a part of the NFL. You know what I mean? And so I think we got some good kids. Marshawn is a good one from me seeing him out here. The short time I've been with him on the field, he's looking good. He moves really well. He's what you want to see out of a high draft pick.
So you said Texas College, you left there because of the family situation?
No. I didn't get into coaching because of early in the career when I first finished playing football. Zim and even Bill Parcells, they always told me I needed a coach. But coming out of when I first retired is what I'm talking about. I loved it and wanted to do it, but I'm a workaholic, to be honest with you, and I know football really welcomes that, and it wouldn't have been good for my family being so young.
Did you envision this opportunity when you took the job? I mean, because you took a different route than most people.
Yes.
To get here.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. It was a serious route. And I said it earlier in an earlier interview, is that if people say, well, he only here because he played for the Cowboys and all that kind of stuff, it's like, no, I had to go through some stuff to get here, and I'm glad I did.
Right.
So I came in kind of at ground level, driving 2 hours every day to get to football practice, from South Lake to Tyler, Texas, and so washing, doing the laundry, all that kind of stuff. I went through and did all those things. So. This was a lot of work went into getting here, if you would.
Has Coach Zimmer changed much since you were around him last?
I won't tell him this, but I guess we got so many cameras, he's going to hear it. The biggest thing for me that changes with him, in my opinion, is me being a coach and him and me not playing for him. I have tremendous respect for him as when I played for him because he's a tremendous teacher of the game, taught me a lot about the game. And so to be on the other side of it with him is something different for me, if you would.
He doesn't yell at you as much?
Well, see, you said that, I didn't, but I agree with you.
But this is the time of year that coaches coach coaches, right?
Yeah, it's not relaxing in our room, in the coaching room. He holds coaches to be responsible. I've been around him long enough to know whatever you tell him you're going to do, he's going to hold you to it, and so he's not going to forget it. And that's the good thing about him, though. That's what makes him a good coach. And I really couldn't think of a better coach for me to be under, to be honest with you, than him, to be honest with you.
Are you going to have to interpret some of his messages to your guys?
Oh, I do it already.
How he says it, this is what he means?
Oh, yes. We've had that conversation. Yes, and I tell the rookies, players, to be honest with you, too, is that understand this football is professional football, the highest level you can go. And so don't get caught up into how the message is being delivered, but just understand we are working towards the same goal.
What's the benefit of you and Jeff having played the position?
I think it's a huge benefit. You know what I mean? Jeff obviously handles more of, interior guys, and Jeff is the lead one. I'm assistants to him. I say that first and foremost. But I think it's a tremendous blessing, if you would, because we can tell you the play that we have to do that Zim has that he called, but we also can tell you little techniques and how to be more productive at executing that deal. Mm-hmm.
With Mozzie, making the second-year jump that everyone wants to see out of him, including himself, having the shoulder that he's going through, doesn't make it any easier. How does he need to work through that to still achieve where his game reaching where he wants to?
One of the biggest things that I would say about that is that he has to understand, don't try to rush it. I met him, and he seems like a kid who really wants to be good. And coming off any kind of injury, it can be difficult because you want to hurry up and get back out there and prove everybody, why they draft you. And that's good. But there's something to be said about following the protocol of rehabbing. And so he has to make sure that he's following that as well.
Yeah. Can you help us understand just the difference schematically, just the way the system is, how even when maybe before the snap happens, but as the snap happens, just to get off and alignment, everything is going to be different and maybe make him a little bit more comfortable in the way things are now. How so?
Well, I think this is more what he played in college, this type of scheme what Zim has. I don't know if that was the plan, but I'm glad it worked out that way. And so I think what the Cowboys saw when they drafted him, obviously I wasn't here, but what they saw him in college, this gives him a better opportunity to get back into doing some of the stuff he did in college.
What's his mindset, I guess, for a play at the snap? Like, what's kind of the logic?
I mean, put your hands on this center. That's what. Put your hands on this center. Be very violent, and just come with it and bring it. That's what you have to do at playing that position. You know what I mean? And he's going to get, for his run technique, he's going to get the best possible, in my opinion, one of the best possible, because he's getting it from Jeff, a guy who played that position for 17 years. And Jeff wasn't the biggest guy at playing it, but extremely successful at doing it.
How much do you think Zim missed being out here?
I'm sorry.
How much do you think Zim missed being out here in the last
I think.
years?
Oh,
Can you
man.
tell that he missed it?
Yeah. It's, when you've been around the game as long as Zim has, it's hard to just truly walk away from it. And even when he had stepped away, he was still doing stuff, related to professional football. But I know it's for him to be back out here, it has to be, a good feeling for him. It's a good feeling for me, for him to be out here.
If a young player came up to you on this team and said, hey, what's the key to having a long, successful NFL career for the Dallas Cowboys, what would you tell him?
I tell them, learn your stuff. All right, learn your plays, get that done so you can play full speed and take care of your body. That's what you have to do in this league.
In the social media world,
Oh, wow.
TV and all that, how much being a Dallas Cowboy today is different from what you remember?
No, these cameras were here when I was playing here, so you always had to kind of, be careful and do the right things. But obviously, it's magnified even more now because of big social media platforms. So use it to your advantage. That's what I would say. But understand this: some of the guys I've talked to is that you have a good social media opportunity only based on what you do out there on the field. So make sure social media is good, and I do some Facebook Live stuff myself, but you got to take care of the main thing, or all those followers tend to disappear. So you got to make sure that you're taking care of what needs to be taken care of, and that is putting the best product on the football field.
How many guys remembered you?
Hey, man, one of the, it's a shame, man. I'm getting old for real, dude. I forgot my man's name. One of the guys, he's an older guy, defensive guy. Man, I don't remember which one it was. But anyway.
D-Law?
No. Well, D-Law remembers me.
Okay.
D-Law remembers me. He was like, and I met.
Ain't too many old
No,
guys.
he don't play. No, this guy didn't play defensive line. He's a secondary guy.
Oh.
Anyway, but I'm talking to him in the locker room on an off day, right? And I'm telling him my name. He said, yeah, I know Joey Galloway. I said, well, I played with Joey. And we talked a little bit. And he was like, how'd you do in the league? And I told him I played 12 years, had 80-something sacks and all that kind of stuff. And he was like, cool. Well, the next day he sees me. He was like, man, I didn't know you was that Greg Ellis. I was like, wow, I'm getting old for real.
Malik Hooker?
Malik? It wasn't Malik.
Hooker?
Well, it's a
He
C.
played at Ohio State. That's why when you mentioned Joey, it's remarkable.
No, he said him and Joey are cousins, actually. Man, I'm embarrassed I don't remember his name. Anyway, I would not think of it right now on the spot, but that story happened.
Yeah.
Maybe it's best I didn't remember his name. Maybe he don't want to be remembered for that. All right, guys, thank y'all.